gentle thems, gals and guys, good day to you all, and welcome to the GRA Rock-A-Rama Mama Slave Virtual Tea Party. My name is Jamie Bahr.
And I'm Mad Wit. Thanks for joining us for one mother of an episode. Jamie, it's so good to see you in person now that we're both vaccinated.
True that. You know, ain't no party like a girls' rock tea party. Hey, ho. But really, we're here to honor all you hot mamas, you moms, mommies, and you special bam bam pajamas that have been invaluable to our lives.
Exactly. Just like our mission, we're all about inclusion and empowering all women, girls, trans, and non-binary individuals. We want to talk about all the different kinds of maternal figures that really helped shape us. And I'm not just talking about birth mothers.
Yeah, we got your stepmoms, your grandmas, your fairy godmothers, and your fur baby mamas.
Not to mention soul siblings and sisters from another mister. But I must say, although this is a happy day for some, it can be a painful reminder for others too.
Society has conditioned us to gloss over people's traumas and tragedies, especially women, gender minorities, and people of color. So we'll take some time to discuss the more emotional side of relationships and motherhood. To those of you with mothers who are deceased, estranged, or you just have a complex relationship, or those who have lost a child, miscarried, or are having difficulties conceiving, you all are in our thoughts and our hearts are with you.
But we've got the goods to get your spirits up, okay?
Indeed, because coming up later in the show, we've got an amazing lineup of discussions, interviews, and musical performances from Lady Earth, Jennifer O'Brien, the Mothermold, Chris Nine, Stella Maxwell, and Stella and the Very Mest.
Stay tuned for the Rock-A-Rama game show where we'll test the lyrical knowledge of Kittie Farmer, Finnia Griffiths, and Jessica Hyink with a round of "You're not leaving this table, young lady, unless you finish that lyric." Plus emoji puzzles and a special round of MomGuyver where contestants will compete in feats of resourcefulness.
But first, we want to give you a little parental advisory.
Shh. Yes, these are real conversations with real moms, so there's probably going to be some explicit language and trigger warning. Y'all, it's going to get graphic.
I do believe we only have 2, maybe 3 poop stories tops. But that won't faze all you tough mothers out there, will it?
And talk about tough mothers, shout out to Mother Nature!
Woo-hoo! Yeah, thanking her and Mother Earth for this beautiful day in my lovely little courtyard garden.
Truly lovely. And speaking of Mother Earth, we've got Austin artist and new mom, Lady Earth, joining us for a first convo with Rock-A-Rama guest host and parental unit of 2 longtime girls rock campers who, along with their mom, make up the avant-garde noise rock trio, Fashionably Late.
And let's say hello and tip our cups to our grand mom in the field, Sarah Morgan.
I can't believe I missed your birthday! I was too busy being awesome! I can't believe I missed your birthday! I was too busy being awesome! Make a wish, 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 motherfucker!
Well, I'm so excited that you could be part of our Mama Slay Mother's Day tea party. We're just so excited to have you on and just chat about being moms and all the weirdness that comes with that. So yeah, welcome, Lady Earth. I'm so excited to see your face and just hear about all your great news with your new little one. I'm just so excited to hear about your experiences. And I wanted to kind of start out just saying, okay, I'm like scrolling your Instagram and I noticed that you had a home birth, and I was like, oh my God, I did a home birth too, you know, for all three of my kids. So I kind of wanted to just ask you, what made you decide to do home birth, and what, or, you know, a natural birth, and what, you know, what was that experience like for you?
So we didn't do a home birth. We did at the birthing center, at Birthwise Birthing Center. It's so great. Yeah, I don't think I was ready to do a home birth. I'm actually glad that we didn't do a home birth, because we live in an apartment, and it's not like an outdoor apartment. Like when you walk outside, you're literally outside. It's like you walk out and you're in a hallway, and then like you got to go down the elevators and all this. So it's like kind of condo style. So I'm really happy that we decided to do it there, because I needed to walk outside and walking up and down steps and throwing up on steps.
Yes.
So I needed to be like where I was for sure. I was actually watching my birth video like 2 nights ago. It was great. If I was to have another kid, which I'm probably not, but if I was, I would do another natural birth. I would love my midwives. It's funny, so I didn't have a doula, but they had a doula that was like associated with the center. And so they sent her, because I was about to give up. Like I had back labor. It was just horrible. I was like giving the epidural. And then she came, and she had the same birthday as my mom. No, she was a Virgo like my mom, and I had the same birthday as her daughter. And it was just like, I just needed some motherly, like encouraging words. Because my family is like lives in Galveston. So yeah, it was cool. She came at 8 p.m. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. And we got to take her home the same night, which I really loved. Like no beeping machines. Like it was great.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I was so curious your experience. I love that you use the birthing center. That's so awesome, because they have like everything that you need, and it's just like so comfortable. Yeah, you definitely need that. Yeah. So now that you have the baby, how is it going being a new mom? You know, what is that like for you? It's just like, I'm sure there are a ton of surprises. You're like, what the fuck? You know, what are some of those crazy things?
Being a mom, it was an adjustment. It still is an adjustment. Yeah, it's crazy. Like I think for a while I would have like postpartum, so I was depressed a little bit, and I think I'm just now coming out of the funk probably like 2 months ago. But she's so cool. She's such a cool baby. Like she's so dope. But yeah, there's definitely lots of what the fuck moments. She just started walking out of nowhere. She shits up her back.
Yep. Oh
She
my God.
put weird shit in her mouth. Like I literally have to keep my eyes on her to make sure she doesn't die. She jumps out of her high chair. Like she jumps out of her crib. She does sleep by herself. So
Yay.
I love that so much.
Oh
I get to
God.
sleep, have a good, yeah. So yeah, she's super cool. She's super cool.
Yeah, it's I think the fact that they're so cute, you know, it makes it totally survivable, which is great. It's like built in, this like survival thing. They're so cute, you know, because they're like, yeah, there's those crazy like shit up the back moments, right?
Yeah, they're just wild. Like they're like little, really like wild cubs in the wild. Like they're just doing shit just to do it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, everything's an experiment. They're just like, oh my God, everything's amazing. And you're like, no, you're gonna die.
Let me put this in my mouth. What's this? Let me put this in my mouth. What's this? Oh, let me put this in my mouth. Yeah, I don't think a lot of people talk about like the hard shit of being a mom. It's always like, oh, it's great. Oh, it's nice. Oh, it's da 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 da. Oh, it's amazing. And it's just like, it is, but it also isn't. It's also really hard. Like redefining who you are, finding out who you are while still raising another child, or raising another human, you know, like they can die without you, you know, like it's, and then trying to do it right and trying to figure out what is right and what's wrong, and like healing trauma from your childhood with your mom, and like what, you know, but also understanding that she's human, you know, it's a lot, and everybody's just like, oh, it's the best thing in the world, you know.
Yeah, I definitely relate to that. Yeah, I had that same experience. Like, I feel like everyone was just like, oh my gosh, it's this magical thing. And like, as soon as the baby popped out, it had this instant bond. And I was just like, oh my God, like, what are you talking about? And, you know, eventually talking to other moms realized that that really wasn't the case for most people, you know? And for me, it was just like, well, yeah, I didn't have an instant bond with my baby. It takes time, you know. At first they're just like crying and pooping. Like, who is this little human? Like, they're not even looking at you in the eye at first. So it's just like, no, I didn't feel an instant bond. This is what I said when the baby came out. I was just like, oh my God, like, why do people have more babies? Like, this is so fucked up.
For real. For real.
Yeah, so there are those like just challenges. Yeah. And it continues, you know, like as you're a parent and they grow up, there's always new challenges. And so it's always hard. Yeah. I know, like I heard you talking earlier about postpartum depression, and that's something that, you know, most women experience. And I love that you know, talked about that, because I think that it's something that, you know, a lot of people, like, they gloss over that part, right? Years later, they're forgetting like how shitty it felt to be a new mom, right? And they're just like, oh, it's so wonderful, it's so like, what a glorious thing, you know. And you're just like, oh God, you know. And like, you know, it's like, obviously you're saying like you're just starting to feel like you're coming out of that, right? And you know, and how old is your baby girl now?
She is 11 months. She will be 1 on May 14.
Right.
So very soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It takes time.
Yeah. Yeah, and I couldn't, and I think what was so hard about it was nobody prepared me for that. Nobody really talked to me about postpartum. It was just like you were saying, like, oh, it's great. Oh, it's amazing. And it's like, nobody talked to me about, you know, what I would be feeling like, or could be feeling like after, like how hard it is. And it wasn't hard taking care of her. It was just hard, like taking care of me and her. So, you know, everybody's just like, oh, how's the baby? How's the baby? And I'm like, the fucking baby is fine.
She's a baby.
She's fucking fine. I'm the one losing my mind, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah.
Oh yeah, I definitely know. Yeah, I know you're still going through it, and you know, who knows when that ends, right? So it takes time. But like, are there any things that you found to be you know, helpful, just like coping skills as you're, you know, navigating through that?
Finding me time helped so much. On Tuesdays, my friend watches her for me for a couple of hours while like I go to the studio and make music. And my partner's parents watch her on Saturdays for a couple of hours. My mom will come up one weekend out of the month and just like really take over. And it's so like helpful. And or I'll tell my partner like I need a break, like I need to go walk or like do something. And me time has really helped like figure me out again, because I'm like finding out myself all over, like I'm a newborn baby. So yeah, me time has helped dancing, writing music, being around friends, because I really miss being a wild person. Like I miss just getting up and like, I feel like doing this. I feel like going to San Francisco today, so I'm gonna go.
Yes.
So I really miss that. So and even during COVID, I see all my peers like out in clubs, like being reckless, like before before the vaccination, before like everything really started getting like back to normal. Like I'm jealous. I envy them. Like I can't think about me only. I have to think about Luminous, and like I don't want to come back and give her COVID, you know? Like, so I'm just like, fuck, I can't do shit. I can't be around nobody. You know?
Yeah.
Like, especially at the beginning, it was so hard. And I think it was on top of COVID. So postpartum on top of being locked in the house, not being around my family, like not being around my friends. Like it was hard, but me time and like making a schedule for it just really helped a lot. Long answer.
No, that's great. Yeah, it's great. I think that like, yeah, I feel like me time is really like the thing. Seriously, like that is, it's just like you have to like pull yourself away from that mom identity, because I feel like becoming a mom for me, it was kind of I kind of lost my identity for a while, and it was traumatic, you know. I need to like find that again. But you know, I think that having those moments of me time is, it's incredibly important. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, me time's important.
Mhm.
Need me time.
It's
I
in
need a me month.
oh man. Oh man, I'm curious, like you know, just as far as your career goals and you know, what are your career moves looking like, you know, now that you're you know, now that you are a parent, how has that changed things for you? And I'm kind of curious too, you know, how has it brought your career goals into like sharper focus? You know, because like you were saying, you feel like you're a newborn person too, you know, like you're figuring yourself out. And I'm curious how that applies, you know, to your career.
Yeah, I actually just realized this the other day, so it's perfect timing. I think I'm going through like a lot of healing through finding myself again. So I think it's kind of changed the dynamic between me and my career. I feel like before I was just doing shit to do it, which isn't a bad thing, because when you're naturally flowing, that's when the best things happen anyways. But I like need intention behind my steps now, because it's not just me, and I can't just be like, I'm just gonna let this happen and like hopefully something happens. And I mean, like the power of manifesting is like also there, but like also knowing what I want. So I think I've got to sit with that. And also my partner, he's just like such a planner and such a like visionary person, to where it made me want to do that also. And I think I just want to serve. Like I don't want to make music for me anymore. Like I want to like make music to heal. Like I want to make music to where people can twerk and heal too. Like
Yes.
but also still keeping my like identity of parts of myself that I know aren't gone, that are important to me. So like still like trying to navigate like what is like being like vulgar and ratchet while being a mom, you know, like do I have to censor that? And I don't, but it's just like in the back of my head, me thinking about that. So yeah, I feel like right now I'm just strategically planning, which like I'm doing a lot of things by myself, like, you know, independent artists, like we're just doing everything by ourselves. So doing that while like trying to make sure my baby eats. Like making sure, because I can eat once a day, but making sure like she is eating and like, you know, getting nutrition. But still trying to like juggle a lot of things, you know, making sure I still go to the studio, making sure I'm like getting money for my videos, and like making sure I have like content after content, because the way the world is moving is just so fast. And it's like, you can't take breaks. I guess you can, but you feel like you can't, you know? And so like before I drop something, I need to make sure I have something else, you know? And it's just like, it's like a game with myself. So I'm learning how to find the fun in that part. But yeah, I'm excited about where it's going. But it's definitely a journey. Like even having days, like the other day I woke up crying, and I my boyfriend was already up with Lumi, and he was like, he came in there and jumped on the bed, and I was like, am I a good artist? I was like, do I suck? He was like, yo, this is how you're waking up. I said, just answer the question. Do I suck? So it's just a lot. Like, I feel like I'm still hormonal. You know, it's just a lot, but it's beautiful. It's dark, but it's like beautiful at the same time. So
yeah, I feel you. I think that yeah, that's definite. That describes parenting so well. It's dark, but it's beautiful at the same time. Yeah, and you know, with your career too, I feel like yeah, I love the way you describe it. It's kind of like your you know, motivation is like intensified, you know, it's not just for you anymore. I'm curious about something you said. You were wanting to make, you know, music that really is healing, right? And I'm so curious, like, what does that mean to you? What kind of projects are you, you know, envisioning now with that kind of like in you, in your spirit?
Yeah, so I just got through taking this tantra class, and basically like tantra is like where you heal through sexual energy. So I just got done taking it, and I was just like, yo, like I really want everybody to feel this. Like I want everybody to like dig their trauma up, just do it, rip the band-aid off and heal, you know? And like I find healing through twerking and dancing. So like finding like a producer, like instruments that really just speak to my soul. Because when I hear a beat and it's fire and it speaks to me, it's not even me writing the song. Like 8 out of 10 songs I put out is not me writing. It's literally not. Like I don't even know what the fuck I'm doing until I hear the final project like 3 months later. I'm like, yo, that made sense. I'm like, how did I do that? That made sense. I didn't even realize I was just saying shit, and it just ended up feeling good to me. So I was like, fuck it. But yeah, I'm just yeah, I don't know, like healing through dancing, like whenever you hear the song, you just automatically move your hips, like male, woman, whoever, like you just want to dance, and like you want to close your eyes and like just like drift away like you're in a cartoon. Like that's what I want my shit to sound like. I want you to trip on my shit on shrooms but not have a bad trip, and come out and like, I get the world now from listening to my shit, you know?
Yes.
That's what I want to do.
Oh, that's awesome. I love that so much. Yeah, I definitely understand. Yeah, okay, so we are wrapping up now, but I want to ask you just one more question before we go. What's something that you feel like as a mom that you are kind of breaking the molds of what it means to be a mom, and making and you know, making the world a better place for your baby girl?
Yeah, I feel like because of social media and like, hopefully it's not a trend. Hopefully it's just a real thing that continues. But like, I feel like the music industry accepting mothers more now. So Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'm like breaking a mold or anything. I just want to heal and be myself for Lumi, and I want her to do the same. Like, I don't want to like shame her or make her think anything she does is stupid or not for a reason, or she's just being dumb. There's always an explanation behind everything, you know? So I just want her to be her full self and figure out who that is, in whatever way that I can. So that's my goal. That's what I hope for her to get as she grows up.
That is so beautiful. I love that. Yeah, she's a very, very lucky little girl. And I'm sure that, you know, as Lumi grows, she's going to just be so proud of you and the example that you are, you know, as a mom, just being yourself and just being like, hey, you know, like, I'm vulgar, I'm ratchet. You know, I heal through twerking, and I am going to just be that and feel who I am fully. Like, and she's going to see your example and just be like, hey, like, I'm going to be myself too. And I love that so much. So yeah, thank you so much for being with us and just, you know, sharing your experience. I'm so excited for you, you know, just making your way, navigating through being a new mom. And thank you for sharing with us about that. And happy Mother's Day to you.
Happy Mother's Day. You said you have 3 kids?
Yes, yeah. I have a 17-year-old and yes. And then a 13-year-old and a 12-year-old. So yeah.
Oh, your babies are grown.
Yes, they are. Oh yeah, it's weird how fast they grow. But yeah, you know, I guess they always say like the days are long, but the years are short, and that's so true.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm so glad that I got to chat with you and see your face and hear your stories. Thank you so much for sharing. And yeah, happy Mother's Day. Mwah!
Happy Mother's Day.
Welcome back to the GRA Rock-A-Rama Mama Slay Mother's Day Tea Party Extravaganza. Yes, we're here with the wonderful, the marvelous, the Mothermold. We have both Lelena and her awesome, amazing, wonderful daughter Wonder Fisher, who are in this really awesome rocking mother-daughter band, and both are our beloved GRA camper and volunteer, and also rock retreater. So can't wait to get to chat with you both today. It's so good to see you. Well, welcome. So could you tell us some of the good things that have been going on in your life and clue me back in?
I don't do much stuff other than like school and homework and stuff. So nothing really particularly good has been happening.
You got a dog right before the pandemic.
Oh yeah. Her name is Gabby and she's a Boston Terrier, and yeah, that was pretty good. And it was a coincidence that we got her like in January of 2020, which was like 2 months before the pandemic started. And so she's really helped all of us like with anxiety and stuff during the pandemic. So
I'm sure. And I heard you had a film come out, Wonder.
Well, I have a new one that I'm working on now about last year, 2020, and I'm probably not going to be finished with it anytime soon because I have a lot of things to do and I barely get any time to work on it. But I just got a bunch of interviews from random people asking about their life and about like what they do and stuff during the pandemic and stuff, but it's also about like the Black Lives Matter movement and like stuff like that.
Wow.
But her film from last year, her autism documentary, which was 10 minutes, that was her first real film. And it was in the Girl Improved or Improv Ed Film Festival.
Ooh.
So that
So that's pretty cool. I would, since I consider 2020 to be the year that wasn't, since everything got canceled, and so far 2021 has kind of felt a little bit like the year of the disappointment, maybe.
Yeah.
It's been a rough year so far, especially in
Yeah. There's someone in my class who calls 2021 2020.1 because it's not much different.
So, if you've got stuff from a little bit of, back, it's okay to share that. That's still something awesome. And, just because it happened during the pandemic doesn't mean people don't want to celebrate it. And just like that, I know I'm so excited to get to celebrate you both and your relationship. I have to ask, what's it like to play in a mother-daughter band?
it's really fun. And after having been in bands that the members weren't related, it's a lot easier to schedule practices.
Yeah.
When you share a home.
Especially since you don't have to like go anywhere and then you can just be like, let's practice, and then the other one's like, okay, and then we just practice.
Yeah, and we don't have to, it's also a difference from living in New York where you have to go somewhere else to practice and pay for a separate space and all that stuff. And so, being able to just practice in our home or in our studio we can practice just like, an hour a day rather than scheduling like 3 hours at a time, twice a week or something like that.
Yeah, except we don't really practice an hour a day.
No, well, sometimes we do. We've been focusing more on recording our album lately, actually.
Yeah, well, we don't practice as often as we should because I often don't want to practice. So when we do practice, sometimes we end up practicing for like 30 minutes. And then other times we end up practicing for an hour, but we don't end up practicing every single day.
That's, sometimes you just got stuff to do,
Well, it's not that I have stuff to do.
Right?
It's not that I have stuff to do. It's just that I don't want to practice.
You got to be in the right mindset to make music or make art of any form. So,
yeah.
I know it's been a while since we've all gotten to play shows, but, you two have been playing out for, I'd say, a couple of years, right? Could you share maybe either the funniest or most memorable performance experience you've ever had?
Well, I remember, this isn't really funny, but it's memorable. So whenever we had our shows, I would always invite my classmates from school to come see it. And usually no one from my class came, which wasn't really that surprising. But there was one time when two twins from my class who I didn't even really know very well came to our performance. And that was, I was really excited that they came to my performance, and I think I was more nervous in that performance than I was in the other ones, because people I like knew but didn't know were there.
The main one I thought of with that memorable is just the really fun show we had at the parlor with QQ and Prom Threat.
Yeah,
that was really fun.
Yeah, that was a really good show.
Because we got to eat pizza too.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. That was the most exciting thing about the show, is that we got to eat pizza. And did they give us like free pizza because we played there?
Pizza's always free for you.
It is?
Do you ever pay?
When you're writing, when you're creating your music, do you ever have any disagreements? And if so, how do those get resolved? Like, because you gotta, sometimes it's just like one person wants it this way, the other person wants it this way. How do you make a compromise, or, when it's a different relationship dynamic than just two randos who happen to be in a band together?
I don't remember any specific time when we disagreed on a song. I mean, like it says in our video, I told her what to play for Wonder Girl, and then she just was kind of, okay, I'll play that. And we don't usually like disagree about what to play on the song or anything. So
yeah, I think historically I can be a little bit of a control freak, with having led bands in the past, but working with my daughter, I think I let things go a lot more. Yeah. Because I mean, for one thing, what's more important is having fun and having the experience together. But then also, she's a kid, so I can't be that demanding. And fortunately, she's very patient with me, because these days she practices more than I do.
I wonder, could you tell me what's your favorite thing about making music with your mom?
That there's a chance that I could be famous.
That could be with anybody, though. I'm talking specifically your mom. I mean, you've been in other bands.
Also, I like that I get to spend time with her. But I also like making music because I get to be on YouTube, and there's a chance that I'll be famous and stuff, which a normal person that doesn't have a band, there isn't as much of a chance that they'd get famous, because they don't do anything to make them famous. And so if you have a band, especially when it's an all-girl band where the drummer's a kid and it's a mother-daughter band, it's so unusual of a band and it's not like other bands, that there's a chance that we could become famous because we're unusual and because we have a band.
We are very much alike in some ways, and we're very different in some ways. And so I'm really come from a background of making things, a maker, an artist, right? And I never really wanted to be on stage or like be a show person or whatever. That's more the craft.
How did you end up like being
in bands?
Yeah.
Because I like writing songs and I like recording, and that it goes with it. I don't dislike it, but it was really hard for me at first though. I had stage fright. Well, Wonder here is a natural show person and has wonderful stage presence. So so that's great.
I mean, I have ADHD, so it's really easy to have lots of energy when I'm drumming.
Well, you gotta get it while you can, right? So, and Lilina, what would you say your favorite thing about getting to be in a band with your daughter is?
Oh gosh, a number of things. I mean, one is having a structured time and place to spend time together, like she was saying. And also she just keeps me playing. Otherwise, I don't know if I would carve out time anymore to play. And so I'm continuing to to play and make things.
Yeah,
And
a lot of the songs that she writes were songs that she wrote like for me, or like about me, or something like that she wrote like when I was really little to like sing to me or whatever. And so we just kind of make those songs into rock songs and add a drum part and a guitar part to them.
But I also like, I volunteered with Girls Rock Camp before she was ever born. And so I already had in my mind, if I had a daughter, I wanted her to play music just as something that she could feel like she's good at. So she's sort of like armed for the battle of, adolescence, of feeling like she's good at something and having confidence. So I enjoy that it's worked out that way.
Yeah.
And then I also like the fact that we're making something together now that she will always have after I'm gone.
You've had such an exciting couple of months. Do you want to share what fabulous things have been going on in your life outside of, the Mothermold?
Yes, well, I will have a book coming out in 2023, I think. It's a children's picture book that involves information graphics as part of a narrative, a story about two friends. So that's going to come out in HarperCollins is the publisher in a couple of years.
I'm so excited for you. Well, I know I can't wait to read or see it, I guess, if it's a picture book. But on that note, speaking of seeing and hearing, let's move on to our performance with the awesome, the marvelous, the mystical, the magical, the Mothermold. Cheers, y'all.
Cheers.
Hi, we're the Mothermold, and we're happy to be part of Girls Rock Austin. The song is called Wonder Girl, and we're gonna talk a little bit about how the song came to be before we play it.
This is Wonder, and when she was little, I wanted to have a song about her, and kind of talk about how some aspects of being a kid are almost like having superhero powers. But it didn't turn out the way I wanted, because it kind of turned out kind of soft and ethereal, and it didn't suit Wonder's personality at all. So I just kind of forgot about it for a while. But one day I told her about it, and she was pretty intrigued about this song about her that was like a superhero. So she pitched in on rewriting it.
Yeah, and then I was telling her I was the one deciding what she would play, because we both wanted it to sound like a superhero song, like a superhero theme song kind of a thing. And so I told her, I told her, I want you to play this. Because to me that sounded like a superhero. So she ended up playing it that way, and so this is how it turned out.
The strength of a mountain, nothing cannot come down. The force of a fountain, bursting from the ground. is self-explanatory.
Yeah.
Wonder wrote most of the words, except for
And I sing most of the words.
as you shall see.
Yeah. It makes sense why I sing the words that I sing and why she sings the words she sings.
Please support Girls Rock Austin!
Welcome back. I'm so excited to get to be here with quite a rockin' chick. One of the coolest percussionists and drummers that I know, and just a Renaissance woman who does, I feel like, kind of does everything. Welcome, Jen O'Brien. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. Thank you. What a wonderful introduction. You make me feel
Aw,
special.
well, you deserve it.
Thank you.
So what good things are going on in your life?
Getting back to music. You know, that's probably like the most exciting thing. Like, you know, live shows, or I can see them in the future. You know, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. So yeah, Flametrick Subs has shows starting in June.
Oh, nice. Can't wait to
Yes.
see.
Yes, so yeah, that's so exciting. We've got that going on, busy month. You know, got my side thing where I do started out as One Nation Underdog, but I just recently switched it and now it's Spaz Cats. So, and you can thank Mike from Flametrick Subs for coming up with that one night when we were dealing with animals, and so it's like that's perfect. So Spaz Cats.
I feel like it kind of is at the no. I'm like da 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 da, like the Cure song. What's the Cure song? It's not Spaz Cats, but he's like.
Yeah.
I just hear that. Or
Spaz Cats. I get it. Spaz Cats. All right.
There's like the "You're so lovely, lovely, wonderful." That one song. Anyways, well, you know, you've been playing in Flametrick subs for years now.
Yes.
You know, what's the best and I would say worst parts of being a musician and a mom in the city of Austin in our music scene?
Like, I don't know. I feel like kind of a lot of what I do, just getting up on stage and performing and everything is just kind of a lesson for my kids. So that's kind of the best part. I feel like the best thing about that is just kind of showing them that, I had horrible stage fright when I went into this. So that you can overcome things, not to let fear kind of hold you back, and to get out there and pursue your dreams. Just because you're mom and you're older and you got kids, doesn't mean you can't go on stage and be a rock star.
Yeah,
So
you got that swag. Like I love when you stand and you're playing and you're like,
yeah, it's really all like what I want them to get out of life. Like, okay, don't let people, be who you are, have personality, embrace being different, and get out there. And so that's the best part, is like I'm getting to like actually show them I guess life lessons that way that I feel are positive ones.
I love
So, and kind of the whole art thing, like never give up on your passion. You can still work and do the other normal life stuff, and then but never give up on the passion on the side. And then the worst part,
yeah. I mean, there's got to be so much that's hard.
yeah, like
It's just hard being a
I don't
mom.
know, there's just, just being a mom and a musician is difficult. A lot of things are like, like right now, ooh, Zoom call, and I've got to do this. All right, let me go downstairs and be like, no one come up here, I've got something to do. All right, I need it quiet. And that's the one moment when you do that, that's like when your kids are going to go crazy. Like, you've told them you need them to be quiet, so that's the opposite of what you're going to get. So it's like or just having, like, I look at your background, I'm like, oh, look at all this lovely background and stuff. I'm like, I found one corner that wasn't like with kids' toys and clothes or whatever. I'm like, all right, I'm ready for my interview. I've got one spot. But yeah, so anyway, it's just the normal, I don't know that like being a parent and a musician is any different. Like, it's just the normal challenges of being a parent. There's the occasional like, oh, got to go somewhere late night and figure out babysitters and whatnot. But my kids also love to come to my shows if I can bring them. So like, they always come to the Driscoll.
Aw. I was gonna ask what they think of your music, and
They-
if they were
they like
fans or if they were like, we're too cool for school, mom.
It's a little bit of both. They've kind of had both reactions to it. We're like, oh, this is cool. They like to show off like to their friends. Like, yeah, my mom plays in a band.
And how old is everybody?
19 is my oldest, my daughter, and then 15, about to be 16, and then 8 years old. So, and my 8-year-old is probably my biggest fan. So, yeah. Yeah, he's like, we get in the car and he's like, put on music, and he's like, Mom, play your music. He's like, where's your music? I want to hear your music. I'm like, oh. And he sings, he'll sing with it. He knows lyrics. I'm like, oh, you're so cute.
Love that.
Yeah. The other ones are like, yeah, it's all right. I guess it's good, Mom. Yeah, keep it up.
Don't want to give you a big head. That's there's that age range where you got to make
Right.
sure your parents don't think too highly of themselves.
Yeah.
No, we're not. We're you got to stay humble. So, this has been such a crazy, I say year, but it's been more than that now. And now everything's starting to, come back to life, and we're re-entering society, and it's a little exciting, but also really anxiety inducing.
Yeah.
What has it been like for you as a mom in the middle of this pandemic?
you know?
Absolutely terrifying. Like, I don't know. I feel like globally we can probably say everybody's probably had some anxiety in their life. Like if you have not ever experienced anxiety, I think this whole thing probably brought that on. But yeah, it's challenging as a parent. It's like, okay, now I'm doing homeschool and I'm got to worry about going back to work and all these other things. So yeah, like my kids and I have been around each other a lot without a break. It's like we've had a lot of bonding. At least I can say I think we've kind of come out of it stronger, and like it did good for the family. But yeah, we could all really get out of the house and be happy about that.
Yeah, I know. I'm pretty excited, and I love hearing how so many parents have found opportunities to either be closer with their kids emotionally or just physically there for them, and I think that's just wonderful. And you yourself are such a cool and awesome mom and a fantastic person I am lucky enough to be friends with. So I have to thank you again for being on the show. We are just so happy to have had you, and I hope you have a wonderful Mother's Day.
Yes, you too. You too.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm just a fur baby mama.
But you can see
I got my bunny. Yeah, I got my bunny babies.
The bunny baby.
When the earth is on fire and all the glaciers melt, when the heat of the sun is all that's felt, I need you there with me. I want you by my side. Need you there when it's time to run and hide. When reality is slipping from my grasp and the nightmares have come to pass, I need you there with me. I want you by my side. Need you there when it's time to run and hide. When the lights go out and the walls start to shake, when the windows rattle and the doors start to break, I need you, I want you by my side. When the zombies come banging on our door and we don't think we'll last a minute more, I need you there with me. I want you by my side. Need you there when it's time to run and hide. I need you there with me. I want you by my side. Need you there when it's time to run and hide. I need you there with me. I want you by my side. Need you there when it's time to run and hide.
Hi, friends. You just caught me on my way out. You see, I'm volunteering for Girls Rock Austin's Operation Lunchbox initiative, and I have all these meals that I need to deliver to some awesome families. Now, since June 2020, Girls Rock Austin created Operation Lunchbox, where we partner with Keep Austin Together to provide families with nutritious and delicious meals that can be easily frozen or microwaved. If you want to volunteer or you want to be a recipient, you can go to girlsrockaustin.org. Okay, I got a boogie. See you soon. Bye, y'all.
Welcome back to the GRA Rock-A-Rama. I'm so happy to be here with the beautiful, the wonderful, the so very incredibly talented Chris Nine. What good things have been going on in your life?
Well, thanks, Jamie, for having me. Let's see, good things. Well, got vaccinated, fully vaccinated. So I feel like life is starting to open up a little bit more. You know, music during the pandemic has been tough. Done some recording and that sort of thing, but it's not the same as being in the same room with other musicians making loud noise. So really excited to be doing that again. So one of my bands, Stella and the Very Mess, has an EP coming out soon. It's actually right around Mother's Day this coming weekend, and our EP release show is Thursday at the Far Out Lounge with Hey Jelly, which is another great Austin band, and Gabe Haskell from The Impossibles is doing a solo set to open it up. So just being able to even just rehearse and with other musicians is a huge thing. It's my mood lifter. And
it's a luxury.
It does. It's been, it was 14 months before I had even been in the same room with another person who's not my family. So, and I'm just like everybody else. So it's really nice to be able to do that. I cherish it.
Oh, that's so great. I'm so glad to hear that. What's the best part and the hardest or worst part of being both a musician and a mom?
Yeah. Good question. Let's see. Best parts are, being able to make it work, like to to be able to, know, setting an example. We never force our child into, lessons or anything like that, but they're around music, they're around instruments all the time, and they pick up things, and kind of want them to go their own path. So seeing that happen little bit by bit, from when they were, 3 and singing along to songs that we love from David Bowie or something, or when they were 6 and I think we got their first guitar then, and just, them banging on it. And I remember when they were like, I think it was 7 or 8, they really liked playing drums. So they'd go out, and we have a little studio behind our house. It's just a garage. That's nothing fancy. But playing along to songs that they liked in the way that they could, and then of course last summer, or summer before that, or was it last summer, Jamie? I don't know. They were able to participate in Girls Rock virtual, and that was great to see them, learn how to play a few guitar chords and sing the camp song. That blew my mind.
I still am like, because the first day, so much anxiety.
Oh, stress, meltdowns. Yeah.
And, there was still that jumping into these brand new virtual meetings, we're all doing Zoom and Google Meets for the first time. And, it's still stressful, and being a tween during all of this, wow, but that moment where they played this camp song at the end of the week after brand new song just learned. So talented. How could they not be? Both of their parents. Because shout out to Phil too, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah. Our kiddo got a double dose of the music gene. But it's funny, again, I mentioned about finding their own path. music is something they are naturally inclined towards, but it's not their thing yet. We're finding out what their thing is, and it's, in their case, I think it's more like drawing and animation, and it's just a joy to watch that happen.
That's awesome.
But like to continue answering your question, the best things has been watching that progression happen, the personality develop. Some challenges, like no surprise there, but you mentioned that both Phil and I are musicians, active, playing in multiple bands each, and some bands together. In the early baby days, we couldn't play in the same band together. We learned our lesson with that. We tried. It was just too hard to coordinate. And there was
like Yoko Ono baby style screaming vocals in the background.
Well, there was that one incident we were recording a record with a band that we were in previous to us getting pregnant, and we were trying to finish this record, and we were in the studio, and they were cool with us bringing the baby along, because there was the studio, and then they had kind of this rec room on the side, and so we had set up the little crib, we had the whole thing. And of course, that was the first time they decided that our kiddo had the poop up the back explosion. Yes, I said it. And we're there in the studio. We have only the supplies we brought with us. It was a very interesting time and very memorable. But I've got lots of great pictures.
I wouldn't imagine.
Lots of great pictures that don't involve poop. Of the baby being passed around band members while someone else is in there tracking. So that was cool. But as our kiddo got older, we were able to just take turns. We started the taking turns thing, where it's just like, okay, I have a show this night, you can't have a show that night. And then we found a sitter that we loved, was able to help us. And so we could have overlapping shows. And so that's been our kind of go-to since then. So challenges with scheduling and just making everything work. When we were deciding to have a child, we kind of knew that we kind of made a promise to each other that music still had to be a big thing in our lives. And so that we've just had to make it work, and it's worked. Knock on wood so far.
I mean, 11 years. Yeah, that's I'd say it's doing pretty good. You got a good system, whatever it is, like that seems to be going pretty well.
Yeah.
What's it like, or what's it been like for you and your family to, go through this pandemic trying to raise a wonderful little tween?
Definitely challenging. We've been kind of figuring it out as we go along, and it's gotten easier. Initially, we started with public school, AISD, and Zoom school, and that proved to be a challenge that we just couldn't handle. Both my husband and I worked from home and were on calls all day, and so it was very hard to manage simultaneous calls for school, and just it wasn't the best way they learned. So we made a decision about 6 weeks into the school year to start homeschooling, which is something I never thought I would do, but we've done it. And shout out to Phil, my husband, as well on that, because it's not. I know this is a Mother's Day show, but I'm very fortunate to be in a relationship where we are equals on just every part of child raising. We kind of mess up the gender roles with regards to that stuff. In fact, I was making fun of Phil for not having dinner on the table on time so that I could be in this interview. That is a real thing that just happened. So, with the parenting side of it, during the pandemic, we just had to make it up as we go along and see what's best for my kiddo. And we're figuring it out, what works and what doesn't. And I'm confident that whatever it is we're doing right now is better than what it would have been had we stayed in Zoom school. And that's just our scenario. It's certainly working well for other kids. So, that's where we are.
And that's,
right.
I think this is
if we can think about the good things that have come about, or from all of this, trying to find like silver linings in the clouds. But,
Mhm.
I think that is one of the things that we've been able to, you know, for some fortunate kids, be able to tailor their education and make it work for them, and I think that's really important and something that public schools just don't have the funds really or the people to give that sort of attention to every child. So
Yeah.
I think that's wonderful that you're able to do that. And gotta ask, being in so many bands, uh, and all different types of bands, like not just like, oh, rock band. You've been in metal, you've been in punk rock, you've done the karaoke apocalypse, you've been in back in the day, that Riot Girl band that I love the name of, Manhole. You've been to Danger Cake. You've been in Butch County. I mean, I know I'm forgetting probably more than I'm saying.
Yeah.
You have just been prolific in, your musicianship and getting around and, being in all these different projects. I just think it's wonderful. But I gotta ask, what does your kiddo think of your music?
Yeah, I'm not, I never know. Sometimes it's, depends on the project. I remember I was really excited one time, the first time that they ever got to come to a show of ours. It was a Butch County show, and I think we were playing in like Lake Jackson or something like that. And they were there, and another of the band members, kiddos, was there as well. And I was like, this is going to be great. I had all this all built up in my head about like they're going to see me rock out and they were going to be dancing. And they wanted to be in the back of the venue playing with the pool table, and they weren't even there up front. So like my whole vision was, but it's okay because it's everybody has their thing, and it wasn't their thing at that moment, and that's okay. But like since then, there have been karaoke apocalypse. So Spilled Milk Social Club, which is a after school and summer camp program here in town. Also, they have a thing where every year they hired my band Karaoke Apocalypse, and the kids would sing along with us. And my kiddo had signed up to sing like Under Pressure. Nailed it with us on stage. They sang Wolf Like Me from TV on the Radio. Oh. Yeah, I know, right? Like sing the whole thing. Like it's so great, and so I think they thought that was okay. That was acceptable. I think they also sang on one of my Stella and the Very Messed. They came and sang background vocals on one of the songs on our first record that was released last January. So they're okay. They're okay with it, I think. Not our biggest fan, but I think they're supportive. I've overheard them talking.
Can't win them all, right?
Right. I've overheard them talking to their friends. Like my parents are musicians, and so I think we're cool enough.
Well, thank you so much, Chris Nine, for being on the show. You are just an awesome and amazing person and an exemplary example of a working mom in the music industry in Austin, in the live music capital in the world that is currently fast asleep, downtown. So, but we're waking up. Can't wait to come see you play.
Thank you.
Welcome back, folks, to the GRA Rock-A-Rama Mama Slay Virtual Tea Party. We are so excited to be able to have in our presence the lovely, the wonderful Stella Maxwell of Stella and the Very Messed, along with Cruiserweight, who you may remember, and also as the director of the Spilled Milk Social Club. Thank you so much for joining us, Stella. I'm so glad to have you here today and talk about some things that we don't really discuss, in public. And I'm so glad that you are being so brave and open with your experiences with us today. So I just wanted to start by saying that. I really believe that society has trained us to gloss over other people's pain and trauma. And, as much as Mother's Day and every other holiday is a big celebration, when we've lost someone, or, someone's presence is not there, it's so emotionally devastating in so many ways. Now, I had the pleasure of seeing you last night at the Far Out Lounge for your performance that we'll be featuring up next. And it was beautiful. It really was. It was so moving and so fun, and yet just very emotional. And I just thank you for that. I wanted to start off with asking first, what are some of the good things that are going on in your life besides this super cool cassette?
It's so cute. It's so cute. It's marigold colored and everything.
Beautiful.
Things are going well. My business, Cold Milk Social Club, we're an after school and summer camp program for school age kids, 13-year-olds. And we survived the pandemic, and I guess it's still a thing, but we have survived thus far. We've moved into a new space over in the Cherrywood neighborhood, and we're reopening, kind of expanding back out to serving more kids this summer. So actually that's where I am right now, is in our new space that we're moving into, and just getting ready to ramp up to have more kids, because we were very, very small for, the last couple of semesters, just having 10 kids. So that's going really well, and that gives me a lot of joy. I love being creative with kids, and so I'm really excited for that. So things are going really well. And then of course the band has gotten back together. We recorded during the pandemic, but a lot of it we did remotely, not together in all of us in a room. So getting back together to practice and start writing together in a room and rehearsing for shows. And last night was the very first show in over 14 months, and it felt really good. It also felt like I got hit by a train. I was just I'm so tired. And we had a great time. And it was, you and I both said last night, it was just so interesting. And it felt like, oh man, I just didn't know that we were ever going to get to do this again, to be in a space where there are people, and people had masks on. It was outside, and it was great, but it was just so nice to be around people and to feel normal again.
It was. I was just so happy to see you and see Chris 9 and actually give a hug. I was so many friends.
So fun. Hugs, man.
Exactly.
Hugs.
You never know how much you miss a hug. Actually, that kind of leads me to some of your new songs on the new EP. Like I said, I really love the new song, The Feeling. I personally felt very drawn to that emotionally, and just there was a connection between that song and, oddly enough, Bad Harvest from your last album, which I love too. So good. Which everyone should just go grab both of these things, because this is actually the EP release weekend of the Marigold cassette. So, but Stella, could you tell me a little bit more about what The Feeling represents, and, how the song Bad Harvest, even though it's from a different album, how they might kind of seem connected in a way?
Yeah, it's funny that you mentioned Bad Harvest, because I wrote that song about a relationship that ended with somebody, and it is a very sad and emotional song, and the theme of it is kind of you put so much into this thing, and then what happens if it ends? Like, what does that mean for everything that you've put into it? If it's, you know, if you've like tilled the soil, if you've like, you've planted the seeds and you've done everything that you could, and then you just end up with nothing. And what does that mean? And I mean, it took me a while to get to a point where it, you know, there's no sting anymore with that song. And I mean, then that's, songwriters say it a lot, but it's true, you know, that it's a form of therapy to be able to create and to perform and to process your grief and things that you've been through. But I wrote that song a long time ago, and then since then I've, you know, I'm married now. I'm in a healthy, wonderful relationship, and we had, you know, we have unfortunately dealt with a loss of a pregnancy, and it is a different thing than ending a relationship with a person who, like, that person is still can move on with their life. And when you have whenever you create a baby and you don't get to like bring it into the world, it like, that is like a grief that is so much harder to process. But it's kind of the same thing of like, you put your emotions and your hope into like, I'm going to have a baby, I'm going to become a mother. And then if it doesn't happen. So what do you do then? And so Bad Harvest has taken on this new meaning for me, which I love, you know, and you know, I hope that songs that I write, people can take them and relate them to their own lives. It's not this
it's really
just like this thank you, but it's not just this self-centered thing of like, it's about me, this song is about me. It can, you know, I want you know, the best art. You hope that people can take it and take it in and relate it to their own lives. And then, you know, the feeling is about, you know, the loss of our baby. But it's, you know, like the chorus is, you know, how can you really miss something you never had? And that is a sentiment that I think, you know, people can relate to as well. And it's funny because the song itself, like when I first started writing it over a year ago, I said like, I want it to sound like that song Stuck in the Middle with You. Like, it's like this really upbeat, like fun song, but then you listen to the lyrics and you're like, oh, that's a little bit sad. And you know, it's not a ripoff of Stuck in the Middle, but thanks.
It's definitely not.
Thanks to my band.
Get where
It probably, if it had been just me producing it and being able to like translate what was in my head, it might have sounded a lot more like that song than it should. But
I don't know.
Luckily,
you
I
have
have
such
some
great harmonies. You really do. That's, you know, the thing that every time I listen to you and I, you know, play your songs for someone else, even, you know, with Adam and the Bull Shark, which, you know, I love. So if, you know, moms and anyone else out there with kiddos listening, please do yourself a favor and your kids a favor and check out Adam and the Bull Shark, a musical book all by Stella, and it's fantastic. The music's so great, but you have such a knack for finding not just like great harmonies, but really like interesting like melodies. And I love the power that's behind your voice. You know, I just think there's this like, it's funny because it reminds me of like, it's like of a young girl, like it, you know, every time I listen to you sing. And, you know, obviously it's not like you're like 14 anymore, you know, but there's like, I feel this like inner child speaking like so much that it's such a an openness, and it's just so like pure of spirit. And I love that your voice reflects that. And I feel like a lot of people's voice, you know, comes out of them, it doesn't get like, whoa, where did that come from, good or bad. But you, I just feel like it's such an authentic sound, and I just love that. So, you know, I think it's so great that you're able to do an album and an EP that takes like your talents and really shines a light on this difficult subject, where it's, you know, obviously like these songs, because it's not, you know,
super self-centered. Like it's very relatable, you know, all of your songs. And I think that's something that's really important, you know, with the emotions that have inspired you. How would you say you managed to kind of, I mean, pull yourself up out of grief to the point where you got to the point where you actually felt that you could create?
Well, I mean, you know, there was a whole lot of probably self-destructive behavior for a long time right after it happened, you know, because, and I talk about it in the song, I drink myself to bed and cry myself to work. And so there was a whole year of just not knowing what to do with myself. And honestly, like, the pandemic happened. And when you're in the middle of a pandemic and you're like, oh no, what is happening? Is the world on fire? Is it melting? What, like, I can't get toilet paper. There are people that are like dying in the streets. Like, there, you know, there's people who are suffering in so many places. And it didn't diminish what I went through, but it certainly like gave me a new perspective. And if nothing else, it made me go like, well, this world is not certain. And so I should share what I have inside me. And so it just kind of like, maybe it took the sting out of it a little bit. I don't know that I would have ever gotten brave enough to be this vulnerable with something that it's obvious if you listen to it. You know, I think historically as a songwriter, I've written things that I think, you know, people can kind of pull from it and go like, okay, this is about a relationship. I don't, you know, but this is something that is, if you listen, especially to the whole EP, it is a song. It is a group of songs that have to do with babies and motherhood and loss and grief and longing. And so you can kind of put it together that's probably what it's about. And I don't know that I ever would have gotten to a point where I would have been willing to have something that's like, yes, I have experienced pregnancy loss. I wanted to be a mom very badly, and I am not right now. I don't think I would have gotten to that point had it not been for just global trauma and just knowing like so many people are suffering right now. I have to do this. And it has been just doing it. I mean, Marigold was the name of that we were going to give to our baby. And so that's the name of this EP, and it has helped me heal, which is, you know, that's what art does for a lot of people. But it's true, it really does, and it has been healing for me.
It's such a beautiful name too. Like it says that just, you know.
Yeah, I looked it up too. Like what I looked up one time, like names that represent creativity. And it popped up. And this was after the pregnancy and everything. And I was just like, oh, just one more thing. Because it's just, as an artist, you create. And this was this thing that I wanted to create and bring into the world, that it didn't happen the way that I thought it was going to.
Well, this is a lovely tribute. You know, so like I said, I'm so thankful that you, you know, agreed to come and talk with me today regarding the show. You know, I've always thought the world of you, and now I'm just thanking the universe. Everyone should definitely go out and I say get this awesome album, but really, or EP, and check out everything from Stella and the Very Messed. You know, you can bandcamp.com/yum, I believe, is you know, a direct link right to their and yeah, look how cool this is. Yeah, so
pretty proud of it.
And it comes with a download card too. So, you know, if you're not rocking out in your 1994 Civic, you know, you don't have a cassette player in there.
Yeah, I don't have a cassette player. I don't have one.
Hey, it's what all the cool kids are doing. So just get the cassette player, get the cassette, get the download, and just stream all of your music because you are such a talented and amazing artist. And, you know, I know you personally have affected the lives of so many children. You know, I think of what you teach at Spilt Milk and what types of inclusion and respect and consideration that you really try hard to instill in those kids. And I just have the utmost respect for that. So whether or not, you know, there's a baby or a fur baby or whatever, you are such an inspiration to so many people that, girl, you mama slay all day. So so thank you for everything that you do. Thank you for being here, and thank you for sharing your experiences. Stella,
thank you for including me. Thank you so much for including me in this. I love Girls Rock, and I'm glad to be able to be a part of this.
Oh, we're so glad to have you. Well, now, an awesome performance by Stella and the Very Messed.
things.
Stop making us sad!
Just kidding. This thing is not cooperating. So he's just doing his own thing. Definitely a he. Okay. Where's another song? What? More? Never got to say hello. So when you hear it, you might not know that it's me. But I could put it in a written form for you. And every lesson that you'll never need to learn. Just like the hardest part of a losing game is not that it's over now. It's the parts played out like a movie that could never be over now. I won't let it be over now. Now the hardest part of a losing game is not that it's over now. Certain parts repeat on a loop inside, and they'll never be over now. I won't let them be over now. Start did I said, treat it cheap like bread. I put it up in my head, but I'm in it now. I do as I'm told, but I can't spin gold. I live a life skipping holes, but I'm in it now. Now the curse words that all alone fell flat. I carried on like that. I carried on like that. I carried on like that. But I'm in it now. You'll never see yourself like you might see anybody else. It's just a simple fact you should know. And when it all dries out, despite your pleas of no, ferret out all the weeds and what do you have to show? So you amazed yourself, it's understood, but how great's a journey when the end's no good? When it's a bad harvest of bad. When it's a bad harvest of bad.
evening, folks, and welcome to the GRA Rock-A-Rama game show. Now, this episode is going to be a little different, folks. We will not only be testing everyone's personal song title databases, but their impression skills and resourcefulness as well. That's right. We created some super fun emoji rebus puzzles. Plus, we have a special round of MomGuyver where we test our contestants' resourcefulness by presenting a kiddo crisis. And our contestants will have to rummage through their bags to find a solution. Who will be the ultimate MomGuyver this year? We won't find out until after our strong start with round 1, which is, you're not leaving this table, young lady, until you finish that song, where we'll sing the first line of an iconic ode to the mother of all mothers herself, and our contestants will have to finish that song or just the rest of that lyric. Here's how to play. After each song, question, or crisis is presented, each of you will make a sound or shout a saying to show that you're ready to answer. So be thinking of your sounds now. Here's the breakdown. Round 1, 3 questions, 1 point each. Round 2, 3 questions, 1 point each. Round 3, 3 questions, 2 points each. The prizes for this episode include 3rd place, a GRA merch package. 2nd place, a Vinyl Beauty Bar gift card and good smelling home products. And 1st place is a $100 gift card to HEB. Now, let's meet our lovely contestants. Our first contestant is Kittie Farmer. Kittie Farmer is a stepmother of 2 awesome boys and a fur mama to a bunny. In the past, she has served as a volunteer, board member, and staff member of Girls Rock Austin, as well as the metal director of 91.7 KVRX FM. Currently, she is the lead singer of Austin metal band Flooded Tomb. Kittie, what is your sound?
Honk, honk.
Very recognizable. Welcome, Kittie. Our second contestant is Finnia Griffiths. Finnia is a wife, mother of 5, and grandmother of 5, and shreds the guitar in 2 all-girl bands, Chick Flicks, and the Texas Twang Gang. Finnia is a longtime Girls Rock Austin volunteer and such a dedicated supporter to the local live music scene that she's been called the musical mayor of Austin. Finnia, what is your sound? Very good. Welcome, Finnia.
Thank you.
Our 3rd contestant is Jessica Hyink. Welcome, Jessica. Woo! Jessica is a former Girls Rock volunteer and a Ladies Rock graduate. She has 2 kids and wishes there was a magazine called Mom Drummer. Jessica, welcome. What is your sound? Bleep, bloop. Can you do that one more time, please? Bloop. Bleep, bloop. Okay, just want to make sure I heard it right. Okay, so here we go with round 1, kids songs in the style of. So round 1. We created some super fun rebus puzzles out of emojis and we'll be displaying them on screen, but this time you'll be identifying the nursery rhymes and the genre style of the emojis. Bonus points if you sing the nursery rhyme in that style. Sound cool? We ready to go?
Mm-hmm.
So for our first question, here we go. Do y'all see what do you see what I see?
Honk, honk.
Okay, Kittie.
I don't think I can sing it in the style that I'm thinking, so I may have to give it up.
What do you think the song is and the style is that we're trying to do?
I think it's a rockabilly Ring Around the Rosie, but I don't even know how I would do that.
Why don't you give it a try?
Yeah.
That is the correct answer. So.
Oh no.
We can back you up.
Yeah, we'll sing.
I don't even. Yeah, Finnia, you do it. Yes, you do it and take the point.
Okay, I guess I'm gonna ring around the roses tonight. I'm gonna ring around the rose tonight. I'm gonna ring around all day long. I'm gonna ring around the rose tonight. I'm gonna ring round on rose tonight. I'm gonna ring around the rose tonight.
That's good. That's great. You know, Bill Haley might come after you.
That was beautiful. That was beautiful. Okay. Our next question is this one.
I would definitely need to go heat mine up and then tip it over and pour some into my cup.
Finnia.
Oh, it was a different song. I was thinking pour some sugar on me, but now I'm thinking.
Yes.
That's not a nursery rhyme.
No, well, it could be. It could be. The teacup.
Bleep bloop.
Ooh.
Bloop bloop.
Is that what I heard, Jessica?
Yeah, I heard a bleep bloop. The little tea. Short and stout. This is the coolest song I've ever heard in my life. There we go.
That counts for me.
Thank you.
You get both points.
Yes. Okay. Can I just get all the points in the whole game for that?
All of them.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Here's our
That was a tough one.
third and final question of this round. What do you think this one is, friends? Finnia.
It's bad, bad black sheep. Have you any wool? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 3 bags full. I couldn't do it like Kittie could do it, but my God, if she would do that, she can have my point.
Kittie, can we hear a scream?
Can we hear a scream, Kittie? Yes.
Blah, blah, black sheep.
That was beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Kittie and Finnia both get a point. All right. Tied across the board. Looking good, friends. Okay, let's move on to round 2. Jamie, this round's yours, isn't it?
It is. Y'all are gonna finish that lyric before you leave the table, young lady. Okay, so just finish this line. Did you ever know that you're my hero? You're everything I would like to be. Oh, and I can fly higher than an eagle.
You are the one beneath my wings.
So close.
No, not wings.
So close.
Underneath my wings.
That part is right. Something else, not a one.
You're the one. The wind beneath my wings. Oh my God, I knew it. I never know lyrics. I lip sync anyway. I don't know.
But can you identify the name of that singer?
Bette Miller? No, wait.
It is!
Ah, good. I was just thinking of her name, but I
All right, here we go. This is a song from someone, actually here, I'll give a clue that's very specific to Girls Rock Camp. It was always the vocal room that I was in. I know that doesn't help, but she's kind of my idol. We're built very similarly. So she's also helped all of us get a little more vaccinated to be back and out there. So here you go. This is another song about moms doing good things. There were rags of many colors, and every piece was small. And I didn't have a coat, and it was down in the fall. Mama sewed those rags together, sewing every piece with love. She made my
My hat, my gloves. I don't know this song.
I think it's Coat of Many Colors by Dolly Parton.
Yeah.
But I can't finish the lyric.
It's just coat of many colors.
Yeah.
That's it. So that's all the points for this round.
Yeah.
Great job, everybody. All right. So let's find out where we are as far as points are concerned with our contestants. Finnia is in the lead with 4 points. Kittie has 3 and Jessica has 2. But all that can change in just lickety split after this round, which is round 3. Okay. Here we go. This is the MomGuyver round. MomGuyvers, we're putting your resourcefulness to the test by presenting kiddo crisis scenarios, and you'll have 5 seconds to rummage through your bags to find the best solution. And then you must hold up whatever it is you have in your hand at the end of that 5 seconds. So get your bags. Everybody got their stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. Question number 1. Here's your first challenge. You arrive at a family event and discover that one of your kiddos has the worst stink breath. Let's hope your bag has a weapon to douse those rank dragon flames. Ready? And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, MomGuyvers, what you got in your hand?
Oh.
Kittie, what is that?
The skunk.
It's a skunk. Okay.
Fight fire with fire.
Fight fire with fire. I guess if there's a
breath, the smell of the skunk.
exactly what I was thinking. What do you have in your hand, Finnia?
Duct tape.
Duct tape their mouth shut?
Yeah, I guess so. I thought I had a toothbrush in here, but I don't think I carried it. No. Oh.
That's pretty good. Ethical, I don't know, but it's a solution. Jessica, what do you have in your bag?
So I have some Burt's Bees lip gloss, and I would just put it on their face and have them smell like a rose garden.
Is that a rose scented or is it the traditional mint?
It's rose scented, and use your imagination.
Yeah.
Lip gloss smells just like roses.
Lovely. Well, I gotta say, I'm gonna go with the duct tape. Jamie, what do you think?
If it was a skunk, Kitty,
and the skunk
totally would happen. I like Jess's answer too, but I was thinking maybe more like a.
In the middle, yeah, it's true.
Their mouth is like a bed of roses.
Swish it around.
Just take a bite of it.
Yeah.
So I suppose that the most effective and ethical method is going to be Jessica then, right?
Yeah.
We'll go with Jessica.
Yeah.
So Jessica gets a point. Question number 1, round 3. Okay. Okay, MomGuyvers, here's your second question. So this is no ordinary blowout. So you won't be changing any tires. This is an insert bodily function of the day blowout.
Womp womp.
What will MomGuyver do to eradicate your kid's toxic waste? Ready? In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ding, 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 ding. MomGuyvers, what do you have in your hands? Stick them up. All right, Kitty, what's that there?
This is refreshing face mist, but it can be refreshing backside mist as well, probably.
Very creative.
Refreshing.
Refreshing, yes.
Fresh.
Finnia, what about you?
This is a bottle of kids shampoo, all in 3-in-1. Very berry. Very berry. Just in case you really smell.
So it works as body
Like Mary.
wash as well.
Yeah, it says shampoo and body wash.
Awesome. And Jessica, what about you?
Old coffee shop napkin for a wipe and a bag for a biohazard container.
Ooh.
Maybe put the kid in as well. Safely, of course. They could wear this.
And dispose him somewhere.
Just tie the whole thing around their waist like a poop sack. Can I say poop on this?
You can say poop.
Okay.
Safely dispose him. Oh my.
Once again, Jessica, really prepared today with those supplies. Jamie, how are you feeling? You think
I'm impressed with the ingenuity, really, truly. I think while Finnia's, would be able to wash said child down, what if you were at some place that didn't have water accessible? And while Kitty, you could be spraying the mist all along, refreshing their backside. But how would you wipe them off? So I think, Jess, you've got it.
Yeah.
1 point for Jessica. All right, MomGuyvers. You're so creative. You're so resourceful. Here's our last question. You're at the grocery store and your kid drops their phone in the restroom toilet. You'll need some of this to get some cleaning supplies and maybe a bag of rice. MomGuyvers, start digging in your bags in 5, 3, 2, 1. Okay. What you got? Kitty, what is that?
I grabbed a bunch of stuff. These just napkins that I stole from the Driscoll bathroom when I went there for lunch yesterday from the Capitol. Nice napkins. And then hand sanitizer for the phone also. Doesn't matter if it's for hand. You need to sanitize that phone. And then a wallet so I can buy rice. I don't have rice.
All right. Finnia, what about you?
I found an emergency poncho. Comes right out in this little zippy thing. And voila! Then you can dive in, grab the phone, pull it out, and run out the store. Nobody recognizes you.
Because that would be a shame if someone did.
Yeah.
Quite resourceful, Finnia. Very good. And Jessica, what about you?
Miniature flashlight. They would need to start quickly on a shadow puppeting career so they can earn money in the HEB or wherever we are. Set up your shadow puppet booth and get to work. So
what an artistic way to solve that
or
problem.
a scary.
Quite expressive. I gotta say, I gotta go with Kitty on this one. She's got the napkin, she's got the wallet for the new rice and potentially the new phone.
But I do like the work ethic that you are instilling in your children, Jess.
Thanks. Finnia inspired me.
All right, folks. Jamie, it looks like we have a tie Everyone's tied.
Everyone is tied?
Everyone's tied.
Oh,
We're tied together.
What to do sudden death.
Okay. Why don't we do one more MomGuyver question?
One more MomGuyver question. You got it. You're at an ancient artifacts museum and your kid breaks a small vase. How will you fix this before the museum curator finds out? Ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold them up. What you got? Kitty, what you got?
He's got a real cute hairbrush, but I'll leave another artifact in the place of the vase. And it's some kind of vase shape.
Okay.
Indiana Jones style.
It's super glue.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Gorilla gel super glue.
That's the good stuff. That's the good stuff. And Jessica, what about you?
A pen and a receipt, and have them write an apology note and leave their name and phone number.
While very considerate, I think at that point.
Very considerate indeed. I'd have to say that this point goes to Finnia for the super glue.
First place winner. Are you stuck?
It's not coming off. There you go.
It's still active.
Okay. I didn't smell it. Thank God.
And Jamie, would you like to do our tiebreaker rebus question?
Sure. Let's see.
Awesome.
Here it is, y'all. So this one is a emoji that we'd like you to guess the name of the song and who did it. Actually.
Is it Baby Love?
It is.
And the sad thing is I don't know who it is by. I'm going to guess the Supremes.
It is. Ding, 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 ding.
All right. We have a second place winner, which means Kitty is our third place contestant. That's awesome, y'all. Super exciting. So our first prize, in which Finnia won, is our $100 gift card to HEB. Woo! In second place, Jessica will be receiving our Vinyl Beauty Bar gift card and smelly good home product. And Kitty will be receiving some GRA merch. All right. Yeah. Okay, friends, that's all, folks. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for playing. I hope everyone has a great night. My name is Man. That's Jamie. And we had a good time. Good night.
Thank you. Good night.
All right, folks, that's our show. Thanks so much for joining us on our 6th episode of the GRA Rock-A-Rama. We sure have had a motherload of a good show.
Yeah, and it sure has been, Jamie. And before we go, we wanted to mention that we'll be taking a short break from the show to prepare for our GRA virtual summer camp program. Let's start the whole thing over.
Okay. All right, folks, that's our show. Thank you so much for joining us on our 6th episode of the GRA Rock-A-Rama. We sure have had a motherload of a good time.
Yeah, it sure has been, Jamie. And before we go, we wanted to mention that we'll be taking a short break from the show to prepare for our GRA Virtual Summer Camp program. Yeah.
Yes, that time of year has come where our staff and volunteers will band together to create the most coolest virtual summer camp ever. There will be instrument instruction, bands, interactive workshops, and so much more. Camp will be taking place on July 12th through 16th for Session 1 and July 19th to 23rd for Session 2. Want to be a camper or a volunteer or just make a donation for our scholarship fund? Visit our website, girlsrockaustin.org, for all the deets.
And let's not forget to mention our Operation Lunchbox initiative, where we've served almost 10,000 meals since June 2020. Now, folks, let's be real. Programs don't run themselves, so if you're looking for an opportunity to bring some light to some lives, now is the time to sign up to volunteer for this amazing and uplifting program. Want to be a recipient? We have room for you too. All the info is on our website.
Thanks so much, man, and thank you to all of our donors. Without your continued support, we couldn't make any of these magical things happen for so many people. Now, we've had a fun and full show, folks. We've hosted some wonderful guests, all of which being a wide variety of artists and mothers alike, coming together to discuss their love for their offspring, including their musical projects and many humans.
There was no shortage of mention of the sort. Our guests and performers have all been very busy with new albums, creative and professional projects, new family members, along with their ongoing inner growth and personal work. I'm so glad we got to hear a snippet of their experience. So thank you, Jennifer O'Brien, Chris Nine, and Stella Maxwell of Stella and the Very Mess, Lady Earth, and the Mothermold for providing us with enlightening perspectives and entertainment.
I'd like to give a special shout out to our partners, the City of Austin Cultural Arts Department of Economic Development, Google Fiber Austin, Guitar Center, Backstage Chats with Women in Music presented by Horizon Music Foundation, Halloween Man Comics, Vinyl Beauty Bar, Deep Eddy Vodka, Share Tea Realty of Stanbury Realtors, and Ice Cream Factory Studio.
Plus a special thank you to our game show contestants, Finnia Griffiths, Kittie Farmer, and Jessica Heink.
All right, that's all, folks. Au revoir.
Bye. Ta-ta for now.
Ciao, mia bellas.
Oh, yeah, so nice.